So it is the 9th of December, 2021. We're about at 2636 north and 7510 west. About 100 miles from the Bahamas. As you can see, we got a couple of big ships out here. And that's because we're getting in the vicinity of the Bahamas. We're getting into that northwest channel there. There's a lot of shipping that goes through there. There is general agreement between Predict Wind, ECMWF, and GFS that we should see easterlies, east to northeasterly winds starting to build in tomorrow. And they'll probably start off quite light. And then by tomorrow afternoon, should have around 10 knots or so. And then by tomorrow night, kind of 8 to 12 knots. And then tomorrow's Friday. So over the weekend is good sailing. However, as of Monday, it looks like then we're going to get a strong blast from the east to northeast. Looks like about gradient winds about 20 to 25 knots, which means there's going to be gusts to 30. And so the question that is, oh, there's a third ship out there. There's a fourth ship. Jesus. So the question there is whether or not we try to get across to Florida. It looks like I'd probably go to Miami. Whether we're going to be able to make it across before those strong northeasterly winds hit, because it's not going to be safe crossing the Gulf Stream when those northeasterlies pipe up, or whether to shelter in the Bahamas. But it's looking like those east and northeast are going to persist for at least about 3 days. So it could be kind of a long time just hanging on the hook. And I'm not going to clear in at the Bahamas, so I would just be in quarantine the whole time. So anyway, that remains to be seen. And we just have to see what this wind does, how much progress we're able to make tomorrow and into Saturday. We got a little less than 300 miles to Miami from where we are if we cut through the Bahamas and across the bank. So, and the strong winds are going to hit Monday, which is, today is Thursday. So we might make it. It's going to be a little close though, we'll see. Yeah, what do you know? Another sailboat out here. I guess we should put that in scare quotes. It doesn't have any sails up. But first time I've seen another yacht since leaving the Chesapeake. So it's about 8:45 p.m. And we're just off the Berry Islands here, a little ways off. And I've decided to heave to for a little bit here, just to catch some shut-eye. I thought of going in and anchoring here behind Bird Key. looks like a pretty simple anchorage to get into. However, I'm still wary of trying to sail into an anchorage at night. At least an anchorage I've never been into before. So I think I'm going to heave to. And though I have done this run once before up onto the bank and across the South Riding Rock, I'd rather have some daylight to do that as well. So at any rate, I'm just going to heave her to and put her to sleep. And hopefully get a couple or 3 hours. I have to do it in catnaps here because I am out in the water and there are ships around. So we'll set my egg timer. For half-hour intervals. And hopefully we'll resume. The winds are going to get a little lighter as the night goes on, but hopefully resume sailing, say around 3 in the morning or so, and that'll get us onto the bank probably just after daybreak. So that's the plan. We'll see if it works out. What is today? It's still December 11th. It is Sunday, the 12th of December, 2021. And we are entering into the Northwest Channel, which leads on to the Bahama Bank. Just on the starboard hand side here is Chub Key. So that's sort of that's the last point. Well, that's the end of the Berry Islands if you're heading west. So I'm going in. I'm pulling the trigger. The weather forecast is kind of these light northeasterlies most of the day. The models are varying, but generally kind of light to moderate northeasterlies, and then overnight freshening, depending which model you believe, anywhere between about 10 and 20 knots, and coming a little more east to northeast. So hopefully the Gulf Stream won't be too bad. Although I do anticipate the captain is going to turn on the fasten seatbelt signs at some point when we get into that Gulf Stream. Well, good morning. It is the 13th of December, and that makes, I think, exactly 2 weeks at sea. And we are crossing the Strait of Florida. We have, I think, about 30 miles, a little less than 30 miles to run. So, as usual, that was just, you know, I exited the bank. I was around, it was 1:30 this morning. And as usual, that's just Stress City doing that in the middle of the night, finding my way past, I'm just following my chart plotter, finding my way past South Riding Rock and into the deep water. And then, of course, you know, a little worried about what the sea state's going to be in the Gulf Stream. Combine that with lack of sleep, and I was getting some stomach cramps there. I assume that's just I'm guessing once I get some sleep and I'm safely at anchor here, those are going to go away. But otherwise, all is well. And so it looks like this passage is going to be 2 weeks, which is a pretty long trip. 2 weeks is a pretty long time to go 1,000 miles, but we had a lot of headwinds, a lot of light winds. So I think overall, old Ruthie did pretty well. Well, I had to check the last of the cream for my coffee, all important, because the cream went sour. And so now I'm using these non-dairy coffee creamers. Blech. Well, we overshot the mark a bit, exited the Gulf Stream around the government cut into Miami. So I've had to sail south for about 5 miles. So here we are making the final jibe around the number 2 red day marker that leads into the old Florida Channel, that leads to the anchorage behind Key Biscayne.